What's up, everybody? I'm the Carnivore, and this is the Carnivore Gaming. This is going to be the first video on my channel, and I figured what better to start it off with than a tier list for Season 2 of Dragon Ball Fighterz. After everything has been switched up and mixed up and we get some new characters, I think it's a great place to start. So, yeah, let's do it. So we're going to start with our board Goku right off the bat. I should say the way this chart works is, top tier, low tier, weak assist, strong assist. So we're going to balance the characters pretty much every angle. Alright, so Goku, we know his assist is good. I would put him this far over in the chart, probably up about right there. I think overall he's a strong character. He can get hard knockdowns anywhere. His combo potential is pretty good. He can do his instant transmission level 1 or just a standard beam level 1. His Kamehameha is really good. His kicks, he gets really good wall carry. If he's in the corner, he can do some crazy stuff with them, and he has some key loops when it comes to his sparking with some heavy damage. His level 3 is pretty good, but the only thing I don't like about it is it side switches, so it's a little weird that way. But I think overall he's a really good character, really solid in any spot, but a very good anchor. And the next, we have our boy Krillin. This guy's, I think he's cool. He has some really good ideas, the way he can throw his ki blasts and make them pop up or pop down. Some really mix-up kind of stuff. You can throw it out, make it come up, rush your character, and make it drop down into the sky on them. So he has some pretty good options, but he's short, he's stubby, his buttons aren't good. His level 1, he can max it out, so he does he can spend a bar and drop 7 in a row, which is pretty cool. His level 3 has some pretty cool setups as well, but I think overall, he's not a great character, and his assist is very situational. The rock can be used for Oki. It can be used for tech when you Dragon Rush, snap him out, bring him back, you can throw the rock and get some mix-ups. But again, it's a little weak. So I think Krillin, he deserves to be down here. And I forgot to add this in. I'm going to add this to both of them. Sorry, everybody. DHC with Goku, very good. His level 1 coming in hits with almost everything because it goes on an angle or straight. Krillin's DHC is pretty good. He comes in, throws a Destructo Disc. It's kind of a straight line. It's good, but it's not great. He does have a Kamehameha, which is good, but it's not nearly as good as this guy's. Alright, then we get the next man, Piccolo. This guy was here, up here. He's kind of all over the place. His assist, not as good as Goku's. I put it about here. It does cause some uneasiness and some cool pressure. It can create some good Oki and some mix-ups. It's pretty neat. He just pops the orb, follows him around, puts everybody into a really defensive, awkward state, makes them uneasy, and some people don't understand it, so they'll feel the need to super dash or turtle, which really gives you a lot of options to deal with them. His combos are good, his mix-up is good, his jumping L is crazy. The only thing about him is he has to spend a bar to get a hard knockdown, as far as I understand, but he has a Hell Zone, and he has some crazy mix-ups, so I would put him up here, probably about here. Then we have Team Gohan, powerhouse. This guy, if he hits you, he makes it hurt. He has some good mix-ups with his lightning legs in the air. He can do some pretty wacky stuff. His combo routes are really weird. I'm not a big fan of them anymore. Even when he first came out, I wasn't a big fan of them. But the way they work now, since he's been patched, he kind of kicks them up, and then he stays up in the air. It's a little bit different. His level 1 is good, but it's situational because it's an angle. It doesn't just go straight, it goes up on an angle. So it can be really good if used well, but not so good if not timed correctly. His neutral isn't great, and he's really stubby, but if he gets up on you, he gets some crazy damage, and his level 3 is really good. It also turns into a level 5, which makes it really good as well. But his assist, better than adult Gohan's, but it's still not great. So I would put his assist about here. And I want to say here, but just because of his damage, I'll put him there. Because I've seen some people do some crazy stuff. Everybody's seen Kymart, And there's a guy from the US named Cali Mac that uses him who makes him look amazing as well. Chris G made him look good, so I'll give him credit. Put him here. Then we have Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans, the angriest man on the planet. His assist used to be like here, but it's been nerfed. You can deflect it, you can super dash through it. It's not as good lockdown as it used to be, but for combo extension, it's still good. So I put it ahead of Goku's. And overall, I think Vegeta's better than Goku. So we're going to put him up here. He has more, his buttons are stubby. I'll give him that. Like, he doesn't have a big reach, but his mix up, like his high-low is pretty crazy. With his rush kick, his dive kick, whatever it's called there, it gives him a lot of high-low overhead mix-ups. And he has 3 different options. So you can spend your light, your medium, or your heavy, and it's kind of different. Like the light one, you just hit you bounce off. Then you can have 3 options from there, or you can back off. If you do his medium one, he does 3 hits, goes straight through you, and then he's on the other side, so you get kind of a side switch mix up. If you do the heavy one, he just does a big dash right across the screen, pops you up, then you can get a combo extension off of it. So overall, I think he's good. His DHC is also good. He does a big bang attack, just a big ball. Boom, straight out. You can also angle it down if you do it in the air. So I think he's really good that way. And his level 3 is a final flash, which is also, it's just really good. All right. Then we have Frieza. This guy's kind of hard to gauge. I find him one of the hardest characters to fight. He has zoning capabilities, and I don't deal well with them, but some people do, and they can just plow right through him. But I think he's a really good character. I think his assist is better than most people give him credit for. I would actually put his assist over here. And he has some cool mix-up with his pizza cutters and his double low. But with the new patch, the bar build is not as good as it used to be. So when he drops into his golden Frieza, he doesn't build bar nearly as well as he used to, which really hurts him. So, you know, before golden sparking, I put him here. But now with the bar build, I'm going to put him probably here. All right, Trunks. I'm a little biased with Trunks. He is my main. I know a lot of people says he's not very good with his high-low, which I agree. He only has 1 low attack. It's his 2M, but it has good range. It slides like a third of the screen. It's ridiculous how far it goes. And he lays down when he does it. So it goes super far out. And then he has a beam, which controls a lot of the screen. He has his flips, so he can do left-right mix-up, some crazy stuff. He can do combo extensions with the flips as well. His Shining Slash, if you do the light or the heavy one, it's plus on block, so it's pretty much safe. It can't be 2H'd. His assist is the best neutral assist in the game, in my opinion. It's just a big blast. Like, it shoots way up. It takes up, like, half the screen. It blinds the other guys. They can't really see what's going on. His level 1 is good. Shoots straight at the front. 1 hit. Smashes you. Good damage. His level 3, it's an unblockable command grab. A lot of people don't like that, but I actually do. Maybe it's just because I use him a lot. But you just get in on them, get them to block, and then you grab them, chuck them up. Big damage. His neutral is also through the roof, and so is his speed. So I'm going to put him over here for his assist, just because it's the best neutral assist, in my opinion, in the game. His DHC is also very good. So I'm going to put him right here, because I think he's a lot better than most people give him credit for. 16. This guy has insane neutral. His level 1's great. He can do it in the air, on the ground. His level 3 is also an unblockable command grab, so that can be used really well. Does a ton of damage. He can convert pretty much any hit into a full combo, full punish. He has armor on certain moves, which is crazy. He just, you know, you hit his heavy button and he shoulder tackles you. It goes through pretty much anything. Let's see. He DHCs really well into his level 1. Shoots his rocket fist, which you can actually control the angle. He has multiple grabs he can use on the ground or in the air. So he has crazy combo routes. And his assist, I call it the nail gun. He just comes in, shoots straight down, boom. He can even drop it in the middle of his normal combo. And the reason I call it the nail gun is because if you get hit on the ground, or even if you block it, it locks you into place. You can't move. So it's great to hold somebody down when they least expect it. So I would put him, his assist on par with Piccolo's, but I think he's a little better than Piccolo. So we'll put him about there. And these will move as we go. And then we have 18, everybody's favorite waifu. Overall, she's stubby, but she's quick. She has good buttons, like her combos, they work really well. She can call 17 in and get some crazy like high-low mix-ups. And I think her low attack is a standing. She just kicks you in the ankle, so it's really hard to read. Her key game isn't great, but she throws the disc, which is useful, but it's okay. She also has a command grab, which can be very useful. Her level 1 can be used on the ground or in the air. I think it's really good. You can get double supers out of it, depending on which assist you call with her. And her level 3, she just rushes in. Her and 17, they lay a beating to you, blow you up, knock you to the ground. And she gets really good Oki off of it. She also has a barrier, so if you're throwing some beams at her, she can just pop it out, and she can use it. It fills her bar up, and she doesn't take any damage. So it can be useful. It's situational, but it's useful. Now, her assist, on the other hand, is that beam, the barrier that blocks the beam. It can be really good in very specific situations, but those situations don't come up often in this game. Really, the best use for it is if you know your opponent's going to throw a beam out, you pop the assist up and you stand there. Or if they're in the corner, you want to get some Oki, you can pop the assist as you rush in, and it can protect you pretty much against anything except for level 1s or level 3s. But like I said, it's situational. So her assist, I'd say, is over here. And I should say her DHC is really good too. So I'm going to put her on par with just under 16. But right over here. Then we have Cell, the perfect Cell. This guy, truth be told, he excels at pretty much everything. He doesn't really lack anywhere. His jab kind of isn't as good as it used to be, but he's still really good. The range on the jab isn't good. It's slow, but it's still better than a lot of people's. During his basic B&B combo, he has 2 lows, which is good because it catches people off guard. And at the end of his combo, he can do his rolling crush, which turns into an overhead. So if you're just blocking low because you think all those lows are coming, then he does a rolling crush, it can catch you, and it gives you a knockdown. I think it's a hard knockdown if you do the medium or heavy one. He has a free teleport. I think it's 2M. He jumps up, smacks you, disappears, comes up on the other side, smacks you on the other side, which can be really useful. He has a bison slide, so he comes in low, catches you in the ankles. He has a beam. His assist is really good. It's actually pretty neat because it's a different type of beam. It comes up here and it comes down on an angle. So it catches people on strange angles, and it's really good for combo extension depending on who you pair him up with. His level 1 is great. He just kind of pops it. It's a big energy blast like a dome. It DHCs really well. You can do it in the air or on the ground. With certain characters, you can get double super with it. He, in his level 3, he does just a giant Kamehameha beam. It's really good all around. He also does ground explosions. You just jump up in the air. He throws the explosion down. It blows the whole floor up. And he has a weird move. You don't see it often, but I'm pretty sure it's safe on block. Like Goku Black's God Slicer. He just kind of dives forward and shoots a bunch of lasers out. So overall, Cell's really good. I won't say his assist is as good as Goku's, but I would say it's on par over here with Piccolo's. But he's just... Let's do this. And then we'll put Cell right here. Because I still think he's a very viable character. Big Boo, Fat Boo. This guy's assist, I don't like it. It has its uses, but I don't like it. He has some crazy mix-ups. He has some crazy reach. He has good damage. His level 1 is really good. It DHCs really well. His level 3, if it hits, it does a lot of damage. It's just a straight beam. Turns you into a cookie. Eats you. Good to go. It's not great, but it's a good level 3. I've seen people... Halloween, I think, is a guy who uses... He's a French FGC competitor. He makes Fat Boo look amazing. he can do some crazy stuff with them. He gets some wacky mix-up and just keep it going. So I think if Boo is used right, he's right here. All right, we got Goku Blue. This one's a little controversial. His assist gives you a hard knockdown. If you use it in the right spot, you can combo off of it. Certain characters can use it, say, in the corner, where they do a combo that doesn't end in a hard knockdown. But if they call Goku Blue, he dive kicks in, smashes you hard on the ground, you get good Oki, you can go into a level 1 or a level 3 from there. But it's very situational. So I'm going to put his assist over here. Now here's the crazy thing. In my opinion, he has the best mix-up of all Gokus in the game. He has a 2L, a 2M. His auto combo does a high, a low, and then an overhead. So he has like everything built into just his basic auto combo. And if you block everything that he throws at you, he also has a grab where he does an instant transmission, touches you, and then you go flying. He blasts you off. So he has like 5, 6 different options with every beginner combo route. He can go high, low, low, high, overhead. He can just choose which way he goes. He can, like I said, throw the grab in there as well. He doesn't have a Kamehameha, which I don't like. His basic ki blasts are okay, but they're nothing fancy. I'd rather him have a beam, but he doesn't. His instant transmission kick, so he teleports behind you, in front of you, different places on the screen. I think they're gimmicky, but if used sparingly and the right way, when your opponent is conditioned, they can be really good. He also has the dive kick anywhere on screen, which he has to spend a bar to get a hard knockdown with the dive kick, which is worth it sometimes. It's a good move, but if your opponent reads you, it's not that great. But, again, he's the best mix-up Goku in the game. So I'm going to put him here. A lot of people argue with me about that, and that's fine. Throw it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And here's another controversial one. Vegeta Blue. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite characters. He has his Rekka kicks, the light ones. Keep you low to the ground. You just do 3 hits. You don't have to do all 3, though. You can do 1, you can do 2, you can do 3. And then when you hit the last one, or any of them, you have options to do overheads, lows, back up. You can dash over their head, call an assist, all kinds of stuff. If you do the medium one, it brings you up a little higher, can do more hits, more mix-up options. Heavy one, same deal, except you go through them and it hits them a lot harder and multiple times. He's a mix-up monster with his Rekkas if you have a right assist to back him up. He has the Big Bang attack as his beam, which is a great move because it takes up a lot of space. It tends to force people to block so you can do some setups with it, but at the same time, as if they know how to get around it, you're wide open. So it's awesome, but it's horrible at the same time. His dunks, really hard to hit, but if you hit them, you can do some crazy combo extensions with them. He's also mediocre damage. He has a weird build, like to do his basic B&B, you have to spend a bar unless you have the right assist, and that only gets you about 4,500 damage. If you spend 2 bars, you'll get 5,000, maybe a little more. So he's built to be an anchor, but he's more of a point character. He's rush down, he's point, he needs those assists, but the way his moveset is built, he's built for an anchor. So it's kind of weird. I'm going to put him here for his assist, because he can cause some cool situations, and he can get double supers off of it. But again, it's situational, and you have to understand it. And yeah, let's put him here, because I think he's better than most people give him credit for, but not great. Okay, now we have Yamcha. I will straight up say, I don't like this character. Try not to be biased. I really don't like him, but I think he's viable. He has an amazing neutral assist. Like his ground assist, he's like out here somewhere. I'm going to put him here. Middle of the road character. Right there. He has a beam. It's good. It's just nice to have a beam. Not a great move though. His ki blast just shoots out. He pops back. That's cool. He has a spinning tornado. It's okay. It works. I know if you spend the bar and do the EX one, it catches people in areas it shouldn't. So it can be good that way. His mix-up is left, right, high, low. It's okay, but you got to spend a bar to get a lot of his side switching stuff. His level 1 is pretty good. It's really good. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it hits pretty much everywhere on screen. And he has a cool option. Actually, him and Vegeta Blue, I should have mentioned this earlier, are two of the only characters in the game. If you spend a bar to do your level 1, and then you spend another bar at the end of the combo to do a second special, there's a big nerf on it now. The damage is brought down massively. But these two are an exception. Along with Videl, you can spend a level 1, then you can continue your combo, and then go into your level 1 or level 3, whatever it is, and the damage won't be reduced. It'll be scaled to the maximum value, so it will still do heavy damage. So that's a big bonus to him. Then we have Tien the shotgun. His assist is pretty good. It's a Dodon Ray. It's a beam. Not as good as Goku's, but it's still pretty good. Takes up the bottom half of the screen. You own it. When it hits, it's just one hit and it pops you up. So that's one thing that's different about the beams, because the beams push you to the other side of the screen. His just hits and you go up. So it's really good for combo extension. So you can, use your other character. Hit them, heavy them down, hit them with Tien's Dodon assist, pops them right back up, and you can just keep their combos going. His level 1 is good. The only thing is, it hurts you, so I'm not a big fan of it. His level 3 Neo Tri-Beam, also a good move. If you have more bars, you can just keep dumping bar into it, and you can just decimate a character. The only thing is every bar hurts you unless you're sparking. And then he has level 3, his Shiatsu Sacrifice, which is a good move. It's the lowest scaling level 3 in the game, meaning it does the most damage all the time. But the only thing is you lose Shiatsu. So you get that, like Shiatsu, you call him, he appears up here, and he does telekinesis, and he grabs your opponent. If they block it, they're stunned, just for a split second. If they don't block it, they're stunned, I think for like a whole second. It's crazy. But you have to give that up to use that level 3. He has the Volleyball Fist, which is an armored move if you do the medium. It's a good move, but it's not great. His neutral's okay. His buttons are okay. And that's Tien. He's just okay. So I'm going to put him here. Nappa. This guy's a little bit weird just because, well, he's big. He hits hard. He takes up a lot of space, so he doesn't have the best neutral, but he's so big that it kind of gives him neutral. His assist is better, in my opinion, than most people give it credit for. It's kind of like Frieza's. So I'll put him in line with Frieza, but I think he's more viable than Frieza. So I'm going to put him here. His level 1, just a big explosion. He puts the hand up, it pops. His level 3, blast from the mouth. It's a good move. He has a fully invincible armored move. He just powers up, elbow you right in the head, goes through everything. What else does he have? The Cybermen. He plants those guys, and they just start hopping around, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They're really hard to keep track of. So if he gets those planted, that brings him higher up on the tier list, in my opinion. I saw a combo the other day where a Nappa had Cell down to one hit. The Cell came back, started beating the Nappa, powered up, did his level 3, was just about to kill Nappa, and the Cybermen spit at Cell, hit him in the back, killed him, while Nappa was getting beat up. So I think that if you can get those rolling, it gets Nappa, a good advantage. So I'm going to put him here. I don't know a lot about him, so I can't say too much more. Ginyu, the classic Feast or Famine character. If you get him rolling and you know the way his team comes out and you know the setups, he's way up here. Like, he's off the charts. If you don't know what you're doing, you're way down here because you're just kind of throwing everything out at random. His assist is middle of the road. It's just a shoulder tackle, so I'm going to keep him in the middle somewhere. His level 1, I don't like it. I don't think it's that powerful. It's cool because you can power it up to a level 3 if you want to spend the bar, which it does okay damage, but I still don't think it's great. The body swap level 3, very gimmicky. If you hit somebody with it and they don't know how to use Ginyu and you know how to use their character, it can do some really cool stuff for you. But if you don't know what you're doing, it can mess with it. I don't really like it. I just think it's kind of neat. But once you get his Ginyus going, they're crazy. The Force, way up here. His neutral is okay. His buttons are okay. I don't think he's overall good, but I think he can be amazing if you get him going. So I'm just going to put him here because he can go really anywhere. Then we got Gotenks. He's got a great assist. Anywhere on screen, we'll put it on par with Yamcha's. I personally don't like this assist. I don't like the timing of it. I don't like the way it works, but I know it has massive uses. It can save you bars for B&Bs. It can do crazy combo extensions, all kind of wacky stuff. So I think it's a phenomenal assist. I think overall Gotenks has really good buttons. He has the best beam in the game. He can do a fake out. If you hold the button when he does his beam, he jumps up and laughs at you, and he does nothing. It's just a stall, so it throws your people off. If you're up in the air, you can do the fake out as you drop, and it stalls you, so it throws your timing to a different way, so the other people can't read it as well. His 2M, crazy reach. His spinning top, the Beyblade, you spend a bar. It's insane. Safe on block. You can move it around and hit you all over the place. Like, Gotenks is a beast. His level 1, he has 2 different versions. One, he just spits the ghosts. They fly up. They hit you. If you wait and you drop them out with his other version, you can spit the ghosts out and they're stagnant. Each one is attached to a different button. And as you push those buttons, 1 ghost, 2 ghosts, 3 ghosts, and 4 ghosts will fly. So you can hit the opponent up, knock them down, drop the ghosts, and wait. And then you can rush in, and as you're pushing buttons, random ghosts will fly at them as you're also attacking. So it gets some crazy mix-up going on there. His level 3 can be done in the air or on the ground. It's good damage, good range, just shoots out straight in front of him. It has okay Oki, used to be better, but they nerfed it. And it takes a long time. Like, the move takes a while to fire off. So if your opponent is sparking, it has a hard time killing them sometimes. But other than that, Gotenks is still really good. I'm going to put him here. I think he's above everybody else. Well, most other people. Hold off on that. And his assist is there. Okay. I should say, sorry, his ghosts also DHC really well, and he can do some crazy setups. Like, if you are using Gotenks, you hit them down to the ground, you call the ghosts, and then you do like a Gohan assist with his level 1, then Gohan can dash up and continue the combo. You can do, a Goku Spirit Bomb level 3, and that just carries him right up. The Spirit Bomb hits him, it's massive damage. So he has a lot of really good options. And we have Adult Gohan. His assist, I'd put it here. It's okay. It's not as good as Kid Gohan's. It's just okay. He has a beam, which is always nice. His Ki Blast is weird. He has this weird just push, and it hits about half screen, maybe 3/4. It's kind of weird, but it works. I like if you press down in Ki, you'll throw a Ki Blast at an angle and jump backwards. So it gets you out of a lot of situations. If you're in a combo, you're not quite sure what to do, your opponent's blocking, you can throw the Ki Blast and get out of there. He has the lightning legs in the air, which can be really good as he levels up, dropping his level 1. He does a burst, the potential unleashed, does pretty good damage, has okay range, but it levels him up. So his combo changes. The more he levels up, he does more damage, more meter gain, he becomes faster, and the way his combos work are different. He gets what's called a reverse beat. So instead of going, light, medium, heavy in that succession, he can go medium, light, medium, heavy. He can just almost hit any button in any order. It's pretty crazy. And he has an invincible DP. So he does like an uppercut that goes through everything. I should add that Tien Gohan has that as well. And so does Vegeta. I forgot to mention those. And he has an elbow drop where he kind of jumps up, drops his elbow on your head. As you use his level 1s to level him up, that turns into a teleport elbow drop. So it teleports you anywhere on screen, and it's an overhead, and it can also go behind them. So it's a left-right mix-up and overhead tool. And he has some crazy combos in the corner. He can touch a death you pretty easily if he has the bar. And his level 3 is just a big Kamehameha. So he has great buttons, crazy mix-ups. I would put Gohan, truthfully, on par with Gotenks, just his assist is over here. Kid Buu, underrated character. He's always been good. A lot of people dropped him when he was nerfed, but I think he's a lot better now than most people give him credit for. His assist is here. He's not as good as Gotenks. I'd put him here. You know what? We're going to move 16 up. I think him and 16 are on the same level. His level 1, he has 2 of them. Make it rain. The arm goes up, pink lasers up, pink lasers down. It works with almost every super, creates double super setups. He also has a level 1 where he's in the air, beats on his chest like a maniac, and then smashes in you like Superman. Covers a good amount of screen, does a good amount of damage, and it DHCs really well with other people. He has the level 3, which is just, he screams at you, big ball, smashes it down into the ground. It's one hit, so it does good damage no matter what. Let's see, gets good Oki off of it. He has a beam in the air. Like I said, his assist is the gumball, so it's his ball that just bounces around the screen. I find it very distracting. It confuses me to where it's going sometimes. So it's really useful for mix-up. He has highs, he has lows. When he's up in the air, most people can do double overhead and then keep going through the combo. He can actually do triple overhead from his jump, from his jumping medium, which is a leg that shoots out like a third of the screen. It has crazy reach. Or if he does a ball attack where he slams it to the ground and bounces up, and then he can get 3 overheads off of that. He doesn't have to do 3. He can do like empty into a low. He can do 2 overheads into a low. He can do a dragon rush. He can do all kinds of stuff. He stomps on the ground and his foot travels like half screen, and it keeps just popping up, and it carries you up to 3 hits. He has a command grab. I think overall Boo is a really high level character. Yeah, he's really good. And then we have Beerus. This guy used to be here. He used to be like here. But now, I say his assist is about here. He has an invincible DP, just like those other guys do. His orb pressure can be crazy. If you know how to set it up, he just drops the balls, hits them, they fly all over the place. If you're knocked down, he can just jump over you, drop it right on top of your head, and then just continue pressure. And you don't really know which way to go because the balls slowly come down. And it causes this feeling of tension because you're not quite sure what to do. His level 1 is good. He just throws a big ball of energy at you. And he can actually spend a second bar, snaps his fingers, the ball explodes. And it's worth the second bar. His level 3, you got to be really close. I'm not 100% sure on this. I think it's not a command grab. It has to hit you. He just puts his hand on you and you boom. Really good Oki. He has good range. His 2M, he kind of goes down, crawls across the screen and pops up and smacks you. That's a really good move on his end. His auto combo's pretty neat too because he hits you twice. He goes underneath you and comes up behind you and whacks you in the back. So it does a side switch as he attacks. So that's very useful. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have on Beerus. Oh, his dunks. They've buffed his dunks so he can slam you down, kind of like 16 grabs you and drops you. This guy just does like a power slam. And he can hit you on weird angles, and it does a lot of damage. If you call an assist, you can continue the combos. If it's blocked or missed, it pops him up a bit, depending on which one he does. And then he can dash over you, do an overhead, go into a low. Like, it gives him a lot of mix-up options. And his balls that he throws, we were talking about earlier, he can do one move where he does this, and a whole set of them come up around him. And he can hit them at you, or he can hit you with a vanish, do a combo, and he keeps hitting you into the balls and keeps bouncing you. So he can hit you, I think it's like 6 or 8 of the balls. And he can just, I think he can do a touch of death of that if you throw sparking in. So I think Beerus is about here because his assist isn't great. And we get hit. Super defensive, super left-right mix-up, good buttons, shitty air game, shitty key game. He does have a cool key, I don't even know what to call it, where he powers up and he punches and it just kind of slashes the screen in the air. So it can catch you in the air and put you back down. His overhead, or his low, sorry. His low, he just kind of stomps his leg super slow. So it's not really good, but his left race is awesome. Like I said, his assist I put here, but I would put hit right there. His DHC is good because he just comes straight across. He has an air level 1. He has 2 ground level 1s. One is just a punch and it kind of zaps you. And then his level 3, one of the coolest level 3s in the game. He just hits you, freezes time, hits you a whole bunch, and then smashes everything. It's pretty neat. Let's see, Goku Black, one of my boys. His beam, on par with Goku's. Sorry, Tien, you're going here. It's a little bit slower, but it's still really good. This guy doesn't have much mix-up. His high-low is not good. His neutral's okay. His damage is okay. It's kind of middle of the road. He has crazy mobility, though, which is kind of weird because his neutral's not great, but he can get in on you because he has a couple moves where he just, like, he has the God Slicer. He just flies across the screen shooting stuff. It's not safe, but if you hit an assist, call an assist, I should say, with it, it makes it safe. If you hit somebody with it, you can call an assist or vanish and you get a full combo off of it. You can also do a level 1 after it. So it does have its uses, but if you know how to read it, it's not a great move. He does have teleports where he appears just above you or just in front of you, like, I don't know, quarter screen in front of you and a little above you. It can also track you up in the air. So it has some really good uses, but if people read it, it's not great as well because you can be 2H'd out of it. And if you spend a bar, I should say, it brings you up on the other side. His supers, they're pretty good. They're cinematic, so they kind of cut off other people, so they're weird for DHCs. You have to time it perfectly to get the full damage out of it. His ball level 1 is really good. Takes you down, smashes you in the ground, but with certain characters, it's hard to hit a DHC with it because it brings you down and then bounces you up a bit. Let's see. He has a command grab anywhere on screen, which is really nice, but it's still not, like, all they got to do is jump to get out of the way. But if you condition them, you can get them with it, and you can get a full combo off of it. It scales damage really badly, like the damage is really lowered off of that move, but you can really catch people with it. So if they're low on health, it's useful. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Goku Black. He has the best 2H in the game. I'll give you that. He has the best 2H in the game, followed up with Trunks. Like, they're just crazy. All right, now we get 21. She used to be up here. Now she's not up there. Her assist is good. It's just a ball. Shoots straight out. Does what it has to do. One hit. It's very useful, but it's not great. She used to have really good range, but they nerfed it because she was doing these crazy touch of death right from the start of the match. So her range isn't as good as it used to be, but her neutral's still really strong. She has a command grab, which is nice because other than stealing, it also side switches them. So if she's in the corner, she can grab you, toss you into the corner, and she steals your power. So depending on who she's fighting, she can get different abilities. And once you know how to use these abilities, you can do some crazy combos, some crazy mix-ups that a lot of your opponents won't know because you have to really understand her to know those. So if you can master 21, you can become a beast at this game. But those are very situational. Her level 1 is awesome. It works pretty much with everybody. Her level 3 is also good damage. The Oki's okay. And then she has an air level 3, which just looks amazing. It's a really cool move. Again, the Oki's only okay. The damage is pretty good. Let's see, what else does she have? She has the dunks, kind of like Beerus. In 16, instead of grabbing you, though, she just slams you down, kind of like Beerus does. And she can get some crazy combo extensions off of it. So she has a good mix-up. She has some decent range. I think overall, I would put her up here now. I think she's better than she used to be up here. She went down here. I think here's a safe place to put her now. Then we get Bardock, the Bulldog. This guy's assist is here. I'm going to put him up with Gotenks because he has pretty much everything but a beam. He makes up for not having a beam, though. He has this rush punch, and he just flies across the screen super fast, hits people all the time. It's ridiculous. And it's cool. You can do it straight ahead. You can go up on an angle, which creates some good combo setups if you have the right assist or if you're in the corner. It's the track to his most optimal corner damage combos. He has a horrible key game, so he lacks there. but his buttons are good. He has one of the best auto combos in the game. Like, he just hits 3 big hits. His arms are swinging, you go flying. He pulls you in. He creates like a vacuum with the second hit, which is awesome. He has high-low mix-up. He can do some cool fuzzies with the way his Ki Blast works. He can spend a bar on that rush punch, and it passes through you, and then it can hit you right away after it. So you can spend a bar, and it does 2 big hits. I've seen people spend the bar and do 4 hits off of it into a super, into another super, and just do like half health right there. And speaking of his supers, he does, I call it the bionic arm. He just powers up, boom, boom, 2 big hits. Invincible startup, sends you flying, and he has a second level one where he makes a ball of energy and just throws it like a fastball. He can combo his punching super into the ball super, and it still does full damage, and you can DHC after it. So he can actually create a combo where you get 4 level 1s in a row. So it's crazy damage. And his ball level 1, if you hold up on your controller when you call it, you'll actually angle it up slightly. So say you're using adult Gohan. You do his burst special, which pops him up in the air. Then you call Bardock. You can hold up and throw the ball up at them. So you can hit where normally it would go under them. So it has a lot of uses. He also has a level 3 where he powers up. He rushes you. He just beats the snot out of you. Powers up, blasts you. It used to have really good Oki. Now it's okay Oki. He still has a lot of options. You just have to work harder to get them. Good damage though. I think overall Bardock, I should add too, his assist is on the ground. It's quick. Just shoots out in front of you. It's great for combo extensions. Keeps you safe on a lot of moves. And then he also has the Meteor, I think it's called the Meteor Strike, where he spins his arms. He just spins like a maniac. Does a good amount of damage, gives you a hard knockdown, and it's an overhead, so the last hit you have to block standing, so it can catch people off guard. So I think Bardock's one of the best characters. I'd put him here in line with Gotenks, but his assist just isn't as good. Then we have Broly. Big ball energy assist. This guy has armor, he goes through everything. His neutral's good just because he's so long and so big and tall, which is not good at the same time because he just gets hit with everything. But that's where the armor comes in. He just plows through it. He even has a move. I think it has like a 2-frame startup or something where he just powers up and then he rushes you like a train. Like he just goes right through everything. And if he hits you, you just get plowed to the wall. He smashes you. From there, he can, do a level 1. He can spend a bar. He can do all kinds of crazy stuff. He also has a command grab, which is unblockable, but you do just, jump out of the way. But he can do what's called a restand. I'm not sure exactly how to do it, but I've seen it where he hits you a bunch of times, calls an assist, and then he grabs you, hits you, and then keeps the combo going. So where it should be over, he's able to grab you and just keep it going. He has an underrated key game. A lot of people don't understand that his basic Ki Blast, I think it's just 5 or 6 little green sparks shoot out. But it's really good. It's really, really good. It's not a beam, but it's one of the best Ki Blasts in the game. He also has a powered up one where he just does this big uppercut. Big green ball shoots out. It hits you, plows through you. If it hits you close, goes into a cinematic and does 2 hits. It's really good. He also has one level 1. I'm trying to think of it now. Yeah, that's right. He hits you, you pop up in the air, and then he throws the big ball at you. It can be really good. It can set up double combos, double supers with certain characters. Or if you call in like a Goku and do the beam, as soon as Broly launches his super, Goku has time to do the beam, Broly hits them, and then Goku can go into a full combo from there. His level 3 is really good. He jumps up in the air, does his best Santa Claus impression. I have a present for you, and laughs at you like a maniac. Drops the big ball and it just comes crashing down and does massive damage. He has a second version where he drops it, but it stays small. And then it opens up last second and does some damage, which in the corner, and I'm sure in other spots, I don't play Broly, so I'm not 100% sure. You can do a full combo, drop the ball, but let it go slow, and then open it, and then you can Dragon Rush them and continue another combo into another level 1 or level 3. So Broly can do some crazy damage that way. I put Broly about here. I think he's a pretty good character now. He's very viable. Then we have Zamasu. Used to be here. It's funny. When him and Vegito came out, I was super excited for Vegito. But I was disappointed with Vegito. And I started playing Zamasu. I thought he was great. But with all the nerfs, he's dropped down here. His assist is okay. It's kind of like almost like a beam. It's just one hit, shoots straight out. He does a big slash and a big blast comes off of it and just shoots straight out. Energy, almost like an energy blade. It's useful. It only hits once, but it has a good amount of, like, it covers half the screen. His buttons are good. His mix-up is good. He has decent range. It's weird, though. He's tall. So his ki blasts go over a lot of people. So that's kind of weird. He does have flight. So he has some good mobility. He can just kind of hang out in the air. And he has a lot of options from there. His level 1 is good. He has 2 of them. One, he just kind of drops a ball down like Goku Black's. Slightly different, though. And then he has what's called the Blades of Justice, where he powers up and a bunch of red dots come out and just fire red swords down. It's kind of like a dollar store version of Hellzone with Piccolo. It used to be really good, but with the new nerfs to the level 1 supers, it's not really good anymore. It doesn't work the same way it used to. He really felt the nerfs. Kind of sucks, because he was a really good character, but now he's just down here. His DHC is good, though. You can set up some double supers with his level 1 when you're using him, if you time it right when dropping them. And again, his DHC is good. You hit him, with your normal level 1, and then he just comes in and drops a ball on your head. His level 3 is actually really good. He hits you anywhere on screen. He just rises up and purple lightning starts dropping and zones right into you. It's a really good level 3, and it sets up some decent Oki. But I'm sad to say, I think he's down here now. And then Vegito, which I used to think was down here, is up here now. His assist isn't great. He kind of jumps in the air and just throws a bunch of balls down. Can be blocked, can be deflected, and you can dash through it. So it's not great. It does cover your tracks when you need it to, if you know how to time it correctly, which is kind of hard to do. Vegito's neutral is absolutely insane. His bar build is insane. His mobility is insane. He has options on pretty much everything. His key game is not good. He has the little balls that he throws, and he has a couple blasts where just an orb pops up on the screen. But he also has the spirit sword. So he just stabs a big sword in you and flicks you across the screen and does Vegito stuff. He just comes at you like a maniac. He also has a command grab. It goes up on an angle, so it's more of an air command grab, but it's very useful because it's unblockable. And if you're in the middle of a combo, you can do the command grab and jump over your opponent and call an assist. You can make the assist come out on either side, so it causes some mix-up on it. It's also a good combo ender for him. So you can do your full combo and throw them down, or you can do a full combo, vanish, hit them, then throw them down. And if you want, you can spend a bar and do more damage. He has good DHC with the supers. His supers is one of the places he excels. His level 1s, he has 2 of them. One, if he's in the air, he does instant transmission, so he appears right on top of you and just does a big punch down, takes you to the ground. The only thing is if your opponent's not in the middle of a combo, they can get out of the way, they can block it, or they can actually 2H you out of the super and get a full punish off of it. If you wait to hit the ground, he has another level 1 where he just pulls this big giant sword out like Captain Commando style and just chops the screen in half and hits the whole screen. It's crazy. It can get double supers, but again, they're nerfed, so it's not worth spending the second bar anymore. And he also has a level 3 where he just powers up the final Kamehameha. It's just a giant beam, takes up a little more than half the screen. You can do it in the air or on the ground. Awesome move. I just think it's great altogether. What else does Vegito do? His auto combo, one of the best in the game as well. It wins every clash, like just pressing light, does like 5 hits, and then, you have many options to go from there. The only thing about Vegito that's not really good is he doesn't have any high-low mix-ups. He has one low-hitting move. You can see it from a mile away, but it does travel a fair distance. It's a slide kick. So he's not great that way, but just his pressure is nuts. You get him going and you get the right assist in there and you can just keep going with him. It's crazy. So, you know, if your opponent doesn't know how to get out of it, he can really hold the lockdown. So I would put him about here now. We have base Goku. I actually really like this character. I was excited for him and base Vegeta. I'm a big Vegeta fan, but I didn't like base Vegeta that much. I really like base Goku. His Spirit Bomb setup's super cool. He can do some wacko stuff. Massive damage, biggest special in the game. Slowest special in the game, but biggest special in the game. He can do, with sparking, some combos. He'll actually start you with the ground, take you up in the air, carry you right to the top of the screen, and then he can drop the Spirit Bomb on you, or he can power up his little mini Spirit Bomb, throw it, it homes in, hits you, takes you up in the sky, and then he can hit you with the big one. But that's really hard to do. It's not really worth powering it up because when you do it, you leave yourself fully open. Like, you're literally, they can do anything to you unless you cover yourself with an assist, but it seems like a waste of time to me. His normals are okay. He doesn't really have any high-low mix-up. He doesn't really have any left-right mix-up either. Yeah, he has a beam, which is good, but it's not as good as the other beams because it just hits once and then you go flying. It doesn't lock you down. Now, his assist is really good. It has super high block stun. He just kind of appears and hits on both sides. So if they vanish, they get hit, and it sends them flying into the corner. It's the end of his auto combo, actually, which I really like his auto combo. If you know how to use it correctly, you can put people in the corner. You can do loops, and then you can take them up. And one of his special moves is 2-3-6, light, medium, or heavy, is a shoulder tackle. And if you do it correctly in the air, you can end a combo with the shoulder tackle and then loop it. So you just keep doing more combos. I think you can do it 3 times, and then you go down to the ground. He doesn't have any air specials. He does have his Kaioken, which is a good level 1. It's weird. It's kind of gimmicky. You can catch people really good with it, though. Like, you just have your basic one where you use it. And he can either do, you know, a Ki Blast, an angled Ki Blast, an unblockable grab. He can rush in and attack you. He can jump over you and side switch and hit you from the back. So he has plenty of mix-up with the super. And the more of your team that is down, KO'd, the stronger his level 1 gets, the more hits he can do. So if he's by himself, he does like 5 or 10 hits or something. It's crazy. And during that level 1, you can actually spend a second bar to teleport and do a Kamehameha, which does really good damage. So if he throws that out and he's by himself and he spends the second bar, he can pretty much hit you anywhere and do really big damage. His level 3, like I said, is very situational. If it hits, it's amazing, but it's really, really hard to hit. So it's kind of a waste of a level 3. His basic key game is okay. He has some cool ones where he just keeps blasting singles really quick, which can keep people at bay. And he has a Shang Tsung style one where he raises his hands and 2 blasts come up out of the ground. And if you do the 3rd hit with it, then he'll teleport and be right above you and do a drop kick right to your head. So it's an overhead. The only thing is it's kind of gimmicky. So if your opponent knows how to read it, they can 2H you. So you really want to use it sparingly, or you want to condition them to only block 1 or 2 hits and throw that 3rd one out every once in a while. He also has a command grab, which is okay. The only thing off of it is when you grab them with the lighter medium, you don't get anything else unless you spend a bar to do a vanish, but then the damage is scaled really, really badly. He doesn't get high damage. If you spend the bar and do the EX grab, he grabs you, throws you, and does a jump kick, or a teleport drop kick, puts you down, and then you can continue from there. But again, it's not really worth the bar. I will give him, though, his, as far as I understand, his 2M has a longer reach than the other Gokus. So he excels a little bit that way. And his shoulder tackle, if you do the medium version, he backs up first, so you think he's getting away, and then he rushes it and hits you, so that can open people up a bit too. But overall, he's not great. I put him about here. And then we have Baby Bardock. Haha. Base Vegeta. This guy's a feast or famine character. He's a beast, or he doesn't do anything. He just dies. If you can get his momentum going, he's crazy. His assist, I'm going to put him right in the middle. It's not great. He just throws the pizza slicer, the disc comes out, flies across the screen. It's okay, does what it's supposed to do. When you throw the slicer, when you're using him, you can angle it so it can go up right in front of you or further down the screen. And when you do that, he pops up. So if you bring it in a combo and then you launch the slicer, you can control where it goes, and it can set you up to do some overheads, some dashes, or some lows. We can get some good mix-up off of that, but he's stubby. So you really got to get in there to be able to pull those off. His key game isn't great. It's okay, keeps him at bay, does what it's supposed to do, but he does have one cool thing about the key game. He can lob a ball, so it goes up and it comes down pretty close. So if he gets you down, especially in the corner, he can lob a ball at you and then rush in, and you have to worry about where he's going to attack as the ball falls on your head, so it can set up some pretty good situations for Vegeta. He has the dive kick like every other Vegeta. It just hits you once, he does a flip, and then he can go dash, overhead, run away, go low. He has mix-up potential there. His EX version is pretty good because he teleports out of the screen and then just comes flying in and drives right through you. It's pretty good. He has a knee dive, which I think is kind of gimmicky, but it does have its uses because it's an overhead. So what he does is he just disappears and he teleports above you and drops a knee on your head. If he takes you up in the sky and he has no other options, he can use it to bring you right back down for a good knockdown. But he can be 2H'd out of it. But if your opponent doesn't know what's coming, and even if they block, you can decide to bounce off, bounce over, or stay right in front of them. So it gives him a lot of options. His level 1 is cool. He jumps up in the air. He does an angled down Gallic gun. Now he adjusts his height depending on where your opponent is. So there's different setups you can do with him to get double supers, which is pretty neat, but again, situational, and the double supers aren't really worth it these days. So I would put base Vegeta here. I don't think he's great. I think if you get him going, though, he's a crazy rushdown machine. He could work his way up to here if you know what you're doing with him, but overall, I'd say he's here. Cooler, one of those guys with a DP, and that is also his assist. Now, it used to be amazing, but they changed the way the assists work, and you can't call them when you're blocking or while you're getting hit. You have to wait. So it used to be an easy get-off-me tool, but now it's not. So his assist is probably about here now. Now, when using his DP in a fight, he hits you up. It's great. It's still invincible. Goes through a lot, takes you up, and he has the option to do light or medium for a second hit, where actually it hits you down to the ground. He can hit you in front of you or behind you. And if you, depending on your assist, you can actually call an assist, and he can hit you into it and get a full combo extension off of it. So it does have uses. He also has a dive kick. So if he's, bringing pressure to you and he has you blocking low, he could just jump up in the air and dive kick. Counts as an overhead, so you have to block it high. I think it's a good move because you condition your people correctly and they won't block it. And if you spend the bar, it does 2 hits. It goes for a hard knockdown, so it gets him some good oki off of that. His beam game, it's okay. His beam game's kind of weird. He has a one-hand Kamehameha, which is slow, but it's a Kamehameha, so it can't be bad. It eats up like half the screen. His basic ki blast, he just kind of points at you, and it's just a little dart, shoots out. I don't like it. I think it's trash. And then he has like an earthquake type move where he raises his hand and the whole ground shakes, the whole bottom screen. You have to jump or block low. That is a great move because it catches people all the time. His mix-up game isn't great, but his range and his neutral is awesome. He has a tail, so he can hit pretty far in front of you. And he has a cool move. His 2H, it uppercuts you into the sky. But if you do like down and forward, so it would be 3H, he actually rushes forward and uppercuts. If you throw a beam out, he goes right through it and hits you. So that's a bonus to him. His air combos work weird. The 2H doesn't pop them up. It just sends them flying. So I'm not a big fan of it. And I will say about his combos, he has 2 lows you can do during his combo string. And if they're blocking everything, you can actually do a 3rd low if you do the earthquake. So that's a really good option for him because he can vanish off that and get a full confirm, full combo, pretty good. He has 2 level 1s. One of them, he rushes you, smashes you into the ground, does good damage. The only negative side to it is it's a side switch. So if they're in the corner, you throw them out of the corner, which I don't like. And that's your DHC level 1. So it's a mediocre move, good damage. His second level 1, he dives down like a Superman, hits, same as Frieza's, just crushes you into the ground. I think that's a really good super. And then his level 3, he has one level 3, but it has 2 different functions. If you do it in the air, he just teleports. Or no, he doesn't. He just does it on the spot, and he grabs you. It's a unblockable command grab. He beats the crap out of you, smashes you with a big ball. It's a good move. Lots of damage, super fun to watch. If you do it on the ground, it's a counter. So the opponent has to hit you to trigger the move, which can be pretty cool. If you know somebody's going to keep rushing you, you can just pop the level 3, you get guaranteed damage, and it's raw. So you're going to do like half their health. I think cooler, we're going to make some room here. These guys are getting a little lumped together. But yeah, I put cooler there. Let's put Beerus over here a bit. There we go. All right, 17. Crap assist. Boom. Bad assist. Now I'm going to say this. You guys can argue with me all they want. Everybody puts him here. I don't think so. His assist sucks. He just comes out with a barrier, waits a minute, blasts. It does have some uses if you know how to use it. He can get double supers, crazy combo extensions, but it's very, very, very situational. It's on par with 18s. 18, you're going over here too. Up a bit though. His Rekkas, they're anti-air. You can control if they go high-low. He has a fast fall. He can go, close, far, and he can either go behind you if he wants to spend the bar. He's stubby, so that kind of brings him down a bit on the list because his buttons aren't great. He's stubby, but his Rekkas are crazy if you get them with the right assists. I've seen some people use him and just decimate some of the best players in the world with him. You know who you are. You're watching this video. You play 17. Yeah, you know. His level 1s is a side switch, which is really good. The ground level 1 is a side switch, which is a good move because it catches people, but at the same time you lose the corner, which I don't like. Has pretty good damage, but sometimes it's not worth losing the corner. He has an air level 1, which is a cinematic, and it's invincible to most moves. He just puts a dome over himself, rushes and hits you, and then it goes into a full cinematic where he just punches the crap out of you. It's good if used on its own. It's really hard to DHC out of, so it's kind of weird. Now his level 3 is really good. I think it's great. It's huge. Does massive damage. Hits almost the whole screen and it flies. Like it's massive. It makes up for his stubbiness. Godoki, overall, fantastic level 3. He has this weird like Black Panther dive thing where he just flies all over the screen. I think it had good intent. Gave him really good mobility. But if you don't cover him with an assist, or if your opponent knows what's going on, he's just wide open to get the crap beat out of him. His key game isn't great. He just throws a little blast. It's not great. He has to power up to do his big, double orb blast, but you have to power up to do it. So in my opinion, it's not great. His jumping key is okay because it hits at a weird angle, so you don't expect it. But I think that's all I have to say about 17. And now we're to the 2 newest characters, the Season 2 characters. We have Jiren. His assist, I think, is really good. It doesn't have a lot of range, but it hits, and he just stares at you, and these little red flashes come out, and they send you flying. I think it's a good assist. He doesn't have a high-low mix-up, because he only has one low move as far as I understand. Now, his special is pretty cool, because he can 2H you with his special move. It's huge. It's a 2H of the gods. Well, 2S of the gods. His 2H is different too, because it hits you and it throws you behind him. So he can actually force you into the corner with the 2H if he's in there. He has a high counter. He has a low counter. He has a projectile counter. So those are all very good things. His shoulder tackle is crap. It goes through key blasts and whatnot, but it moves like he basically takes one step forward. It's very useless. It's very situational. His key game itself isn't great. He just punches so hard a laser blast shoots real quick. He can do some bomb loops like Tien Gohan, which is pretty neat. And his heavy attack is just a command grab. His air combos are strange. They're not conventional, but I've seen some really crazy damage out of it. He has 2 level 1s. One of them's in the air. Well, sorry. 2 are on the ground. 1 is in the air. 1, he just powers up, makes a big flaming buzzsaw and throws it down at you, and it just spins. It hurts. It looks awesome. The only thing I don't like about it is it comes on an angle. So if you're in the air and you throw it, it can go under your opponent if you don't time it correctly. But it's still a very good move. His other one is just a big uppercut, and it knocks you straight up in the air. It's really good if you have certain characters with him. So you can DHC into it, like it's great for setting up base Goku once again. It gets a hard knockdown. It's just pretty good move. I don't know how it DHCs with other characters. I haven't looked at that. But I feel like it could miss very easily with certain characters. His level 3, very good. It's on the ground only. I think it's called the Megaton Punch, where he just smacks you. Big nuclear explosion. Does a lot of damage. Good Oki. Not quite sure where to put Jiren. Let's move 21. Let's move these guys a bit. We're going to make some space. Let's put Jiren right here. I'm not 100% on this, so you guys let me know what you think. I'm not 100% though. There, let's do that. And then we have Videl. Videl's a weird one to rate. I've been playing her. I thought she was great, and she's really hard to deal with if you don't know how to deal with her. Her Rekkas are really good. She has a 6H where she just goes in full 3 hits, and then you can go into a Rekka. So she kind of gets like a 7-hit Rekka combo if you can commit to it and you know the opponent's going to get hit, which is really nice. She just keeps going. She has many options. In her Rekka, she can stop it at any time, so it's only 2 hits, then you can stop. Or you can keep going for the 4. The 3rd hit is an overhead. The 4th hit is an invincible DP as far as I understand. But at any point in the combo, you can hit medium, and she'll actually jump, flip over you, so side switch, and kick you in the back of the head. So you can get some good mix-up off that if your opponent's not sure what to do. You can also hit heavy in the middle of her Rekkas, and she does an unblockable throw. So she'll jump in the air, grab you, and toss you, and she'll get a wall bounce off of it if you hold the button, and if not, then Saiyaman comes in, smacks you. So it's a good option. That's also one of her quarter circle back, or her 2-1-4 attack. She jumps in the air, grabs you, tosses you. Different light, medium, and heavy have different, outcomes from it. They throw you further, they throw you closer, he knocks you to the ground. So she has a lot of options that way. Her key game is non-existent. You push the button and Saiyaman comes in and punches, throws one single key blast. If you're in the air, he'll jump kick in, or he'll fall straight from the sky and drop on your head, which is kind of cool because it tracks the opponent. So if you use it correctly, you can catch them in certain situations. I don't think you can combo off of it, but you can just kind of use it as a setup as they get up from the ground. It's really good Oki with that. She has a counter level 1. So you call it, she just stands there like this. You hit her, and then the Great Saiyaman comes in and just beats you up, dances, calls you out, makes fun of you, which is cool, does a good amount of damage. And it also powers up the Great Saiyaman, so then he does more damage throughout the match. She has another level 1 where she just does like this big flip kick. It's like Guile's Sonic Boom. And like I said, she's an exception to that double super. So she does her level 1 at the end of her Rekkas or her combo or whatever. She can super dash up, continue her combo, knock you down, and go into another level 1 or a level 3 at no damage penalty. So it will be scaled to the max damage possible. And she's one of the only people in the game that can do that. She can also set up snapbacks through that level 1 in the corner with Gohan. The Great Saiyaman assist. One thing I do have to say about her, she has high-low, she has left-right, all good stuff. But if you know how to read her, then it's not as good. Because, like 17, if you deflect his Rekkas, you have to deflect twice. If you deflect her Rekkas, you deflect once, and she's off of you. I've noticed that massively. Like, if opponent knows how to deal with her, she's not very good. But if opponent doesn't know how to deal with her, she overwhelms them and just opens them up. So she's a strange character to rate. Her buttons are mediocre. Like, she has some good mix-up. She has a double overhead with her 2M. Sorry, not 2, 4M. But at the same time, it leaves her open when she does it, so it's kind of weird. But you can mix your opponents up with it. Her 6H is a mini Rekka, 3 hits, but you have to fully commit to it. You hit that one button and she's flying. You can't stop her. Let's see. Her 2H is horrible. Don't use it. It sucks. But her standing heavy is really good. Her 5H, it hits right in front of you. It's quick. She just shoulder checks you. One of the best ones in the game. Sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, her assist is really good too. It's on par. It's just like Bardock's, but it's like a jump kick where she flies in. So it's on par with Bardock's. Let's go. Let's go. Let's move these guys around a bit. So I would put Videl here. Let's put her in line with Bardock. All right, so that, I think I'm happy with that. That is my Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2 tier list as of March 2019. If you guys, if you disagree, if you want to talk about it, if you agree with me, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you guys just to see what you thought. And if you like what you saw here today, this is only the first video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I plan on posting a lot more. My channel's just beginning, and I really want to make this catch on. I want to bring you guys as much content as I can to do with, mostly fighting games, but all kinds of different stuff. You can also find me, Twitch TV, the Carnivore Gaming. That's also my handle on Twitter. If you go to my Twitch, you can find my Discord. I'll put that in the links too, so you guys can find me pretty much anywhere. Twitter, Instagram, all over the place. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. And please hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love discussion. See you guys later.